Dr. Mark, thank you for being with us. You are such a trooper. We've had all kinds of audio difficulties and things like that, and apps that changed their profile and configuration on us, but you have such a nice smile and a wonderful soul. So thank you so much.
No
So
problem.
I appreciate you so much. I know you're busy. So I know we wanted to jump in and talk about how you got to meet Dr. Polanski and how you've got, I call him Howard just because we're good friends. We've known each other for about 4 years. And I really wanted to spend just a very few minutes understanding how you met Howard. And I think it was through Dr. Laura Brenner. Yes.
Mhm.
And so tell me, we'll jump right in here because I know dentists got to get right to the bottom line. They've got other things to look at. Tell me, first of all, did Howard bite when you decided to call him up and say, "Hey,
Not at
I
all.
need some help"? Because I think a lot of dentists, when I work with them, they're like, "Well, they're apprehensive. What could he possibly know that I don't know?" Obviously, I'm a bright individual. I'm a dentist, a postgraduate, years of business experience. What could he possibly know and help me with my financial situation that I don't already know myself? So I'll let you just take it from there.
And I was saying that you hit that right on the head because I thought that, because of my situation being a mortgage, that there wasn't much more to think about. And I will preface this with saying that once I told other people about, oh, this type of this type of mortgage, and they're like, oh yeah, I know it exists. But then they couldn't say more about it, and then I was schooling them on it. So Howard gave me so we talked about what we were going to do. He listened very intently. He showed me so much that he cares so much about this.
Mm,
And then what we had to do, which is something that no one ever loves, is to get into the finances and see, okay, what are the expenses? What comes in? What So then we know where we're at financially. And even though it's not, that's the least favorite part, that I think that's probably what everyone's going to say when they meet Howard, is simply that bit that's boring for everyone. But then
sure.
you get to the exciting stuff on the other side, which is he shows you exactly what you can do to improve your finances in a way that you thought, wait a minute, why did I know about this? That's what happened to me.
Exactly.
So basically, he told me about, in my case, it was an offset a type of deal.
Hmm.
And he explained it all in and out, and then suddenly I'm like, what? So I can so I can use my savings against my and what? Like it was all like a surprise. And now I'm in a situation, what, 2 years on, where I'm paying a fraction I was paying monthly, and I could actually pay off my whole mortgage. But again, because he opened my eyes in terms of spinning things on their head, now I know that I don't, by not paying my mortgage fully, that actually I'm earning more money because of this whole crazy situation with the interest rates and
Sure.
with taxes. So because I'm getting almost free money in the sense that I don't pay for this tax, and the difference makes me pay like a minimal amount of mortgage. So, and I
Wow.
would have never ever thought about those things if it wasn't Howard opening my eyes and kind of being more savvy about it. The other really big piece for me was I didn't want to have to, at the time, I could just squeeze things to potentially lower my mortgage quite a bit. But then I would have no money left to use if there's something was to happen. And for me, this cash flow concept is so important because we're not stuck. The moment you invest on that mortgage, that money's gone. And that was
Yes.
another thing that Howard helped me see, that in it's such an important piece. So all those things, he basically gave me an education. And
Sure.
it was just a revelation for me.
Wow. That's an interesting term. I love that term because the revelation idea is so many dentists that we work with together, they get the same common what would you call it, weekly or quarterly, excuse me, monthly or quarterly update from their CPA that follows their profit loss statement and says, hey, your practice is growing or your revenue is increasing. And then the dentist goes and looks at the operating account and goes, it doesn't show up there. And that's kind of like the first place that they start talking to Howard about. And then, but the flexibility that you're talking about that he added gave you, what's the right word? I like the flexibility term, but it just gave you the functional movement of money, same dollars. And like you said, you had a crisis situation kind of colliding with you with increasing interest rates and a potential reduction in your income at the moment, and then a refinance at the same time. And he was able to show you plain math, like you said, from an educational standpoint. And that 2 years now into the project that you started working with him. So let me back up a little bit. How long from the time when Dr. Brenner said, hey, you should talk to Howard, did you actually get to talk with him, that he started the education process, and then you actually implemented what he was educating you about?
It was pretty immediate. So I knew that I needed to take the steps.
Okay.
Howard was readily available to talk immediately.
Right.
And it was just a matter of me getting all the figures that I
Okay.
needed to get. I think for me, advice to the people who will be watching this is just get on it.
Right.
The quicker
Right.
you the quicker you do it, the quicker Howard will be able to help you. That's the basic,
Yes.
simple truth of it.
He had a dentist that had heard him speak at an event. And I think it was almost 18 months, maybe 2 years ago, that they had first chatted, maybe after the event when he spoke. And then she sent him a text and said, when they actually implemented what you did very quickly, things are busy, practice is going, lots of things, moving pieces, and the delay ended up being 18 months before they actually implemented. And her regret or remorse, I guess is maybe the right word, is, oh, Howard, I should have done this immediately. Because then when they saw that the cash flow structure made not only the flexibility you're talking about, but it put more dollars spendable in their pocket from the same revenue that the practice was generating. And that doesn't sound possible until you actually see the math.
Exactly. And the
Okay.
way I look at it is, would you, if you knew that you could put some money into a high interest account immediately and get all that interest immediately, why would you not?
Right. Why not?
Why
Exactly.
not? Would you wait 18 months before you do that?
Right.
When by 18 months you would have accrued all that interest. It's the same thing.
Sure.
Just going for it is a no-brainer. And
No.
regardless of, at the end of the day, is what you said, Howard doesn't bite. So he would be able to speak to you very, very candidly about what he
Sure.
can and cannot do and what things it would be possible for you
Great.
without it being a scary thing. So amazing.
Dan. Dr. Mark, thank you so much. You have been, again, like I said, you've been such a trooper. We've had all kinds of technical difficulties, and you've been so kind. Thank you for just being a wonderful soul. And thank you for sharing candidly, because I think, there's so many dentists, especially with the interest rate environments and just what's going on with the industry in general, that there's always this squeeze coming in from some direction. And a lot of times there's multiple directions. They're colliding. And being able to just get on the phone and talk with Howard and find out, is there an option? Lay everything out. And then from there, you get to decide. I mean, that's just the open way that Howard is. And I've seen him so many times say, here's the plan. And if you want to implement, now that I've educated you on your own, you're welcome to do that. And then a lot of people are like, no, now that you've shown me the math, I want you to be my guide. I want, because he calls me a Sherpa a lot of times because I'm kind of a mental wellness guide. And so thank you so much. And I appreciate you for spending a few minutes with us. And I hope you have a great evening there.
Thank you. You too.
My name is Dr. Howard Polanski, founder of Financially Led, and currently the CFO, your cash flow optimizer. I practiced dentistry for 16 years. Sold my practice, September of 2018, walked away from the dental chair. And in that transition, I'm sitting with another dentist who asked, how are you walking away? A few weeks later, I get the next statement in the mail for my house payment. My house payment was $24.19. And I sent it to him as a joke. And he writes back, I'm buying a condo next month. Will you be my coach? He paid off the condo in 8 months. What I do is I am looking specifically at what are your expenses, and is there a way for me to rearrange your expenses so that you live the same lifestyle, you run the same business, but now you have more money at the end of each month. The people who are most successful with this need a guide. I'm gonna guide you. I'm gonna hold your hand, and then one day it's just gonna click. For the clients that have moved forward and done it, they're like, oh my God, I wished I knew this a decade ago. Because the impact in terms of going from 25, 26, 30 years of debt down to 7 years that you could be debt-free, it's life-changing. And so what I do for people is a free clarity call so you can understand, how the heck does this work? Or better yet, how does this work with my own numbers? The best way to do a clarity call is from the website, hit contact us. I'm Howard. I'm your CFO, your cash flow optimizer.